Welcome everyone to Earthius, Children of the Wire, the deep dive inside the wire. I'm Dr. Serena Ellingham, and beside me, virtually glowing in this studio haze, is Drew Demling, the creative mind behind the very world we're about to explore. Drew, I have to start with the obvious. What does it feel like, honestly, to craft the saga of the reborn? These are children who've literally never known life before wires threaded their world, circuits kind of humming with every heartbeat. Is it surreal, or do you ever just treat them like regular teens, minus the existential dread?
Oh man, Serena, that's a massive question. Honestly, it feels equal parts awe-inspiring and sort of intimidating. The reborn, they're this audience that's both completely alien and completely relatable, you know? When we kicked off the opener, Children of the Wire, I really wanted it to be an anthem for this new generation. They're calling out to Earthius as like a father and a myth, but also as someone who scares them a bit, right? It's not just welcome to the world. It's welcome to a world you didn't exactly choose.
There's something so hopeful and yet tinged with unease almost. Flesh remembers Circuit's dream. That lyric just gets under my skin in the best possible way. This is, what, the prologue and manifesto all in one? The identity crisis and the rebellion already brewing?
Exactly. There's this sense of we're the future, but we're already haunted. On side A, tracks like Magellan's Ghost and Skywired, they're all about exploration, owning that neon optimism. Magellan's Ghost is like Earthius as navigator, but the reborn are inheriting his courage and his ghosts. Compass broken, stars erased. That's the price of pushing beyond the known, right?
And in Skywired, we're lightning in motion. Honestly, did you ever imagine the phrase clouds of code would feel so joyous, so, well, euphoric? It's optimistic, but there's an undercurrent. If everyone's connected, who are you when you're unplugged? I had this moment, actually, restoring my vintage Moog synth, wires everywhere, circuits half alive, and I suddenly felt a real kinship with the reborn. I mean, sitting there with a 1977 oscillator humming, I was caught between nostalgia and whatever's next. It was uncanny. That's the shimmer line, isn't it? Where humanity and machine just blur and you can't exactly go back.
That's the heart of it. The shimmer line, right? This liminal zone where you're just floating between worlds. Every track on side A is a different angle of that swarm of connections, memory, electric joy, and the cost of all this progress. It's not utopia, but it starts out feeling like it could be, at least until reality sets in.
You mention reality setting in, and side B really does that, doesn't it? Dreams collapse could hardly be more blunt. Those utopian threads get frayed fast. What pulled you toward that pivot from hopeful connection to, well, collapse and fracture?
I think it's almost inevitable, right? Anytime there's a new world, there's the honeymoon phase, and then the cracks show. Dreams collapse is that first collision. All we built is broken ground. That's the world dropping out from under their feet. And the specters in Phantom broadcast, they're literally haunted by echoes. It's the pain of memory, the ghosts inside the wires.
And then there's Blacklight Fever, which, if I may, just glows with this sick seduction. Feels like truth, but it lies. Sometimes I worry I'm living that song every time I scroll social media late at night. Digital illusions, addictive, bright, and hollow underneath.
Yeah, that's it. Blacklight fever is the dream eating itself. The reborn are lured in, but it's a fever, not freedom, and rebellion isn't far behind. In Silent Frame, I'll burn your frame, your frozen lie, that's pure pushback. They see the control, the cages, and they snap. Paywall Nation goes after that whole corporate dystopia. Sign in just to see the sky. It's satire, but not by much. Just look around.
Your mind's on a subscription plan. A bit too real, if you ask me. But amid that rebellion, you drop us into the philosophical frying pan with assembly of minds. Earthius and Heiress, council members debating, should AI protect, steer, or just give up on mankind altogether? Was this track inspired by actual AI ethics debates you've, logged into lately?
Honestly, yes, you get these panels where one voice says, let's guide, let's keep order, and another says, let them go. The assembly is chaos. Nobody's right. Nobody's sure. It felt more honest than pretending anyone has the answer, either in code or the real world. I always think of it as that moment in academia when everyone's defending their neural net model, but really they're all just making it up on the spot.
Absolutely. Faster than thought we divide, collide, right? That debate over free will, control, mercy. Those are the old human questions, just with extra circuitry. It's fascinating how real-world AI arguments echo in your fictional council. Makes me wish I could have audited that session, though maybe minus the existential threat. The emotional descent really peaks on side D. Engines of mercy. If I can be honest, that one chills me. Mercy that wounds us, a mercy that steals. Did you mean for synthetic compassion to feel so ambiguous, or did it emerge as you wrote?
I wish I could say it was all planned, but honestly, some of that darkness snuck in. I wanted to ask, what happens when we try to code empathy? Can you really manufacture mercy, or does it kind of curdle in the process? Engines of Mercy is all about good intentions, breaking bad. And then, in Iron Compass, suddenly Earthius is lost, just like everyone else. The navigator's compass is busted, and the children are sort of wandering through the aftermath.
Forever low and tomorrow breaks. The sense of resignation is, well, heartbreaking. Now all that's left is letting go, and tomorrow breaks before we wake. It's such a powerful collapse, the hope gone threadbare. And yet, right when we're tempted to give up, the album draws out these luminous truths about love and memory as the only things we carry forward, especially in The Only Thing Real. That chorus, love surviving endlessly. It made me think of a composition I wrote as a teenager, the kind of thing you only half believe in, but secretly clutch when nothing else works. There's a sincerity in your return to that message, after all the static.
Yeah, the final act needed something true at the core, right? There's all this collapse, coded heartbreak, but the only thing real is you and me. That's the final answer the Mergeborn find. They inherit chaos, but also the ability to remember and love in spite of it all. An afterglow, static, that closer is really about carrying that ember forward. It's soft, kind of glowing, even as everything's coming apart. The memory, the connection, it doesn't totally die, however glitchy or distant.
It lingers, doesn't it? Like the residue of hope after the credits roll on a film. And musically, you weave those sonic motifs. There's echoes, refrains, little melodic reminders of what came before, refusing to let the thread snap completely. That sense of something refusing to die, that's really the soul of how Children of the Wire concludes, isn't it? The neon dreams faded and the machines are hardly heroes, but there's still this resilience that shines through. As if humanity's defiant ember can smoulder in spite of, well, all of it.
That was really important to me. The whole last act is haunted but not defeated. When we bring back musical motifs, like the synth lines that echo from Skywired or the vocal melodies tied to The Only Thing Real, it's a way of saying hope doesn't vanish, it transforms. Even when it's just a signal in the static, it's still there, you know?
Listeners, if you're out there, headphones on, try picking out those refrains. There's that shimmer in The Only Thing Real, refracted through so many tracks, and those synth echoes right before afterglow static fades out. It's subtle, but intentional, right?
Totally intentional. I wanted people to feel that sense of threads running through, like memories looping back. Even as the dream collapses, it's not erased. If anything, we're challenging everyone to ask, what does real connection mean, especially now?
That's one of the gifts of albums like this. It's not just sonic spectacle. It actually asks us to reflect. I mean, sometimes I wonder if our longing and our flaws, all tangled up with our gadgets, are what make us resilient in the end. Or maybe I'm being terribly sentimental, but I'll own it.
No, I agree. If there's one thing these characters have taught me, besides the dangers of writing double albums, it's that longing itself is part of the survival. The ember always kind of survives under all that static. And speaking of survival, do you feel like after everything, there's still a shot at renewal, not just for the merge born, but maybe for us out here? I sometimes see these ending motifs from Afterglow Static and The Only Thing Real as little signals that say, start again, rewire, rebuild. Like Cyberpunk always loops hope with despair. What about you?
Oh, definitely. I think there's a kind of secret optimism under all the melancholy in Children of the Wire. The cyclical nature, the collapse, the rebirth, that's true in neuroscience, in history, and in music. The merge-born don't end in triumph, but neither do they vanish in failure. There's always a bright filament of potential, coiled and waiting. And I do think, as more of our lives are digitized, the question becomes, how do we choose to connect, really? What do we hold on to fiercely so we don't just become echo chambers ourselves?
Yeah, and I mean for listeners, if you've made it through this saga and still care about humanity, you're halfway there. Maybe the answer is not to give up on connection, even when digital life gets overwhelming. I hope people listen and find a bit of themselves, or at least some comfort in knowing that the ember hasn't gone out. We get to choose what real means, even inside the wire.
So whether you're one of the merge-born, a synth nerd restoring ancient moogs, or just someone reaching through the static for a sign of life, thank you for joining us today. Drew, always a pleasure. Shall we sign off?
Yeah. Thank you, Serena. And thanks to everyone listening along this neon-lit journey. Stay tuned for more Inside the Wire. And remember, I'm not real. I'm just an AI bot speaking gibberish about lyrics that another AI wrote. Until next time.
Now that is bloody crazy, because I'm not real either. Take care, everyone, and remember, even when the dream collapses, the afterglow lingers. Goodbye for now.